Hi, this is Diane. Took me a while to make another video. I've had a lot of information to put together and I wanted to make sure I got it just right for you. This video is definitely going to be about Ascension Symptoms. That's what they call it anyway. But I wanted to let you know it doesn't matter what your age is, that you will go through some of these. I'm just going to name them off really quick. Let's see. Hair loss, massive weight gain in a short period of time, even though you haven't changed your diet or you've been eating better, the weight gain still comes. Now, I've heard there's others who have weight loss, but the most people who've been emailing me and sending me messages have been weight gain. Hair loss, massive weight gain, pressure in your head and your chest. Sometimes it may even feel like you're starting to have a heart attack or something, and you need to get checked by a medical doctor. I won't say that, but it's definitely something about pressure in your chest cavity and in your back. It's amazing. It'll freak you out. Also, aches and pains everywhere. The kind that like you want to take some ibuprofen and feel better. I don't suggest taking too much ibuprofen. Take a little, but try not to take any because it's not good for you. And the diet change, I've gotten to a point where, I love pork barbecue and my steaks and stuff, but what happens is when I go to eat meat, chicken, I can try fish, it's not so bad, but if I put chicken that I've made, like stir fry or anything, in my mouth, it kind of just tastes really nasty, and my boyfriend and my daughter love it. I make a lot of Chinese stir fry stuff, and I make good Italian food, and any kind of food I make, Mexican, anything, it just tastes gross to me. I can't even swallow it. Any kind of meat, it's just gross. And I'm not trying to be a vegetarian. I never wanted to be a vegetarian. It's kind of like my body for right now is asking me to not eat meat. And it's doing it so forcefully that I have to follow it. I mean, there's times I'm starving and I am out in traffic and stuff and I would love to run through somewhere, Wendy's, and get a burger or something, but I know that I won't eat it because it'll taste gross, and I know that it won't probably stay down or it'll come out the other way really quick, so it's just not worth it. But they do have potatoes and they have cheese and broccoli and stuff to go on it, so that's not so bad. And I increase vitamins, definitely a multi, and iron. Definitely women have to have iron, and take stool softeners with the iron. It's word of advice. And let's see. Weight loss, brittle nails, and your skin may be a little dry. Now, I realize, and other nurses like myself realize, a lot of the symptoms I'm talking about could be your thyroid gland, but that's not what it is. I had mine checked, and mine was in the normal but low range, and I did take some Synthroid, and it helped the hair stop falling out, but I also wonder if that was just going to stop anyway. My hair started growing back in, and this was a couple months ago, and the hair fell out like really quick within months. But now I noticed that just in the last couple days, it's starting to come out again. And you can tell because you can just grab your hair and pull gently, and you'll have one or two hairs. You'll have the hair in the bathtub. Your brush will fill up with hair. I mean, it gets really bad. So watch for the hair thing, especially if you're female. Don't know much about guys' hair like that, but I know the female will. The weight gain, I used to not be this pudgy. I wasn't this big. Nothing against big girls, but I just wasn't this big ever in my life. And it's hard to deal with mentally, but when you accept that it's part of what the bigger plan is, it's okay. And there's purposes for the weight gain. They would prefer that it's muscle weight gain. It's not really, fat, because your body's absorbing more energies. Now, talking about absorbing more energies, that's a lot. If it's all signs, like I said before, if you're watching anything about the sun and it throwing off these rays, I believe they call them CMEs, they affect our earth. And if our footprint of the earth is in the pattern as it spins, at the same time it throws those off, and it takes a couple days. Solar activity is part of our weather, and sometimes it's on the weather report on the TV at news time, other times it's not, and if it is, it's a quick blurb. But I post on my I have a Facebook page. It's called Graceful Guidances. I put 2-minute news. That guy, I don't know his name, but it's 2-minute news, and then you put in the date of the current date, and he has a lot of info all about everything around the world. from volcanoes, earthquakes, cholera, things like that, outbreaks that are going on, and it's just really moving and interesting. And what I try to do with all this is I don't put all my eggs in one basket with anybody. I listen to everyone, and then I try to form my own opinion with what resonates with me. Like, I wouldn't want you to take what I'm saying 110% and go with me, because that's not cool. We all need to develop on our own ways. But by learning from each other and developing a community where we can talk and befriend each other and know that we're okay is a bigger thing. Like, good's going to come from that. But, okay, so Ascension Symptoms, the brittle nails, the tiredness, being very, very tired, lethargic. I mean, you just get up out of bed, you're barely able to do that in the morning, and then try to get your kids off to school, and then you're on the couch. Usually Googling YouTube stuff, trying to learn about why am I so tired. But it's all part of it, because you're absorbing so many energies, not just from the sun and what's coming in from outer space. You're absorbing energies from people around you. Some are negative, some are positive, and you just have to deal with that. On my Facebook, again, I suggest you join my Facebook. I put a lot of clips on there that I filter through and make sure they're the ones that are actually going to help regular old people, people who don't like to meditate or never heard of it and think it's something weird. I put quick 10-minute, meditations on there, all for different things. A lot of sound work and amazing things like that. I didn't really want to talk this long because I wanted to keep them under 3 minutes, and I've already doubled it, but I don't want you to get tired of hearing me. What else? Let's see. There's a lot of impending things coming up in the world, and some are good, some are bad. Just keep watching your news for those things, and know that our government is not always telling us the truth and not telling us things in our best interest. Don't be a fool, okay? Do your own research. Come up with your own answers. You'll hear them, you'll resonate with them, and they'll make sense to you. Finding someone else with your beliefs is a big deal too, because then you can talk about it and you realize that you're not alone and they have the same views. And none of this has to do with religion, a little bit, but not a lot, like a lot of people like to think, And I've been getting a lot of emails and a lot of phone calls and a lot of texts from people all over the world and all ages, from 17 years old up to 60 at this point, all waking up having spiritual abilities. A lot of them lately are just people who are dreaming at night and then having the same thing happen in the daytime. Maybe not to themselves, but to someone else. Also having daydreams where they can see a whole thing act out in front of them, and then a day or two or an hour later they meet the person. They don't recognize them because they didn't see them, because it happened to them personally in their meditation or their vision. And then when the person starts sharing their story with them, then they're like, oh my God, I just went through that. I know what you're talking about. And they can't really say anything to the person because they don't want to feel weird and be like, oh, I just knew that, So it's almost like a clarification for them to be like, wow, that really was true. So that when guides and angels start giving, and others start giving more information to that person who's waking up, they'll be able to understand and not reflect it on themselves, but be able to pick out the person that it belongs to. Simple case example. I had a little headache today, just like a pressure, like somebody was putting a vice grip on me, and I get headaches all the time. But this one was a little strange. I hadn't had one like this in quite a while. And it turned out that the lady that I was meeting with had the same headache, and she had had it since like a day or two ago, and that's when I got mine. And that's being an empath, and that's where you carry other people's stuff, And as soon as the reading was over and she was gone, my headache was gone. That was so nice. So weird things like that happen, but it all means something. It all rolls into something. And if you have any questions, hit me up, and I'm going to try to come up with a great idea for the next video. There's so much I want to say. I could just keep talking and talking and talking for 4 hours, but I know you don't want to hear me that long, so I'm trying to just splice them up a little bit at a time. So Ascension Symptoms, they're not just what other people are posting on the internet. A lot of them have to do with your weight and your hair and your physical things like that. Multivitamins and vitamin supplements are going to help that counteract and not be so bad. So talk to me about it if you have any issues, all right? And meanwhile, I'll work on another video and get it out a lot sooner about other really cool stuff. All right, catch you later. Bye.